Phil, thank you firstly for speaking with talkSPORT. I think it's the first time I've interviewed you, and a little birdie inside the dressing room said he's the best talker, he's the best laugh, you're going to get the best stuff out of him. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure on this interview, Phil.
Yeah, it's only because Woody's not here though.
Yeah, that's true. If I can just start by just going back, because I think your upbringing is you've been to a lot of places, haven't you? Born in obviously in Wales, and then you spent some time obviously in Barbados before coming back. Just give the talkSPORT audience a little flavour of what it was like for you growing up and sort of your early days as a cricketer.
Well, yeah, obviously grew up in North Wales till I was about 9 or 10, then came over here, and then I struggle with the timing sometimes. I actually remember. I feel like I went back to the UK when I was 16, yeah, something like that, and then backwards and forwards from here, but then moved over properly when I finished school. I reckon I'd have been 18 or 19 and moved down to Sussex to have a go at playing for them.
And over here, growing up as a kid, playing cricket here, must have been a pretty cool place to grow up.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it here. It still feels like home. You know, you bump into everybody. You know, it's really cool to come back. Actually, one of my coaches was the High Commissioner last night, and he showed me a picture of myself in a men's cricket team. I'll send it. I feel like that's what you're after.
You know us very well, don't you? Are you a big talkSPORT fan?
Yeah. I do stick it on. Yeah.
Oh, good. What sort of shows have interest?
Oh, mate, whatever's on in the car really is whatever. Literally stick it on. Is it Alan Brazil?
Yeah.
It's just listen to what he's got to say. He's quite funny.
Yeah. So that must be nice, showing you a picture of you as a youngster.
Yeah, there's a picture of me. I must be 2 foot smaller than everybody else.
But how special is that though? You know, growing up here, and then you come back to England, and then every time you come back as that kid that now plays for England.
Yeah, I love it. You know, I remember when England used to tour out here, how excited I get for it, and you know, how the anticipation in the months leading up to it. Then so to now be pulling on the 3 lines and coming out here, and I made my debut here as well, T20 debut. Which was a special night for myself, so I'm really looking forward to being back here and hopefully winning the series.
And when you were playing cricket here, growing up as a kid, did you always sort of, and I guess you were quite young, maybe it wasn't your choice, but did you always want to come back to England and play cricket in England, or was there ever a period in your life where sort of being here, living here and playing for the West Indies would have been a possibility, something you could have done?
Yeah, it's definitely something I could have done. You know, I suppose the decision was made at the time. I didn't get picked for the under-19s regional tournament, but I was playing second team at Sussex, so I feel like that was, you know, my opportunity to go back to the UK, and you know, the infrastructure and everything to do with the cricket there, I could see a way to, you know, play first-class cricket and have a career. So that was, you know, that sort of decision made itself.
And you know Barbados obviously pretty well. I'm in Barbados for 5 days. I'm a single man. My colleague as well is also a single man. What sort of I know Oyston's Friday night, that's the place to be, isn't it? But sort of any recommended spots to go out and have a good time?
Oyston's, 2nd Street, Sunday I think 111. Yeah. What was it? Midweek's normally better. You had Mojo on a Wednesday and Surfers on a Thursday, which you know.
Yeah. What's that, Surfers on a Thursday?
Surfers Cafe, yeah. So
what's that?
It's just a place on the south coast. Usually have a band on.
Nice.
And that sort of thing. So yeah, there's plenty to get up to.
We'll be okay then. And also, right, so your parents have got or family have got a coffee shop literally just down the road. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
That's not
but
true.
The amount of people that say that, yeah.
Oh, so there's a wind up. Someone's trying to wind me up because it's called Salts, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely not mine.
It's got nothing to do with you.
No, absolutely.
We were going to walk down and knock on them and say, "Can we do this interview in the coffee shop?"
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
Right, someone in the England team told me that, so it must have been on the wind up then. Yeah. And am I right in saying as well, growing up obviously in the north of England, you're a Man City fan?
Yeah, big Man City fan. You know, at one point it was a curse, but
yeah. You've literally got there just in time, didn't you? When no one can accuse you of being there just for the glory days, right? Because you would have been there obviously through the less good times, right?
Yeah, I was there through the dark days. Well, I can't actually say that I was there through the dark days. There were much darker days, but you know, I've seen my fair share of bad football at Main Road, and and then even at Eastlands, I've watched my fair share as well. But you know, now it's it's getting a bit boring winning everything.
I think this season maybe they're trying to make hard work of it, no?
Yeah, I feel like we are making hard work for the minute, but you win so many back to back. It's bound to get tricky at some point.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Look at the smile on his face as he says that. And do you get to go to many games?
Yeah, the hard thing is I'm not often around in the winter. When football season's going on. Supposed to get to Leipzig at home, but then obviously we had to come out here. So cricket does get in the way of it ever so slightly.
You need because Ollie Pope's a big Arsenal fan, isn't he? And he's got a good relationship with Aaron Ramsdale. You need to get that sort of good relationship with one of the City players. You sort them out cricket tickets, they sort you out Premier League tickets.
Yeah, you know what? I think Aaron Ramsdale could be the single Premier League footballer that likes cricket. Though.
The only one.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's many.
No, really, yeah, that's probably true. And then just fast forwarding a few years, coming back to England, playing cricket in England at Sussex. Obviously, they're moving. Did you always believe, growing up, that playing for England was always going to happen, was always a possibility?
You always believe these things as a kid, but it's once you actually start playing and you're playing first class cricket, sometimes it can feel a little bit further away than you think. But yeah, it's always been a dream. It's always my goal. And to do it is special, and I suppose now I keep working to perform and to keep building on the number of caps I have, I suppose.
And sort of a few years into your international career, I mean, how would you assess it? Obviously, the highest of highs last year, but in terms of your own game, you've obviously done very well. But do you still feel like there's that extra gear to get to?
Absolutely right. That's a great way of putting it. I feel like I've done well, but I feel like there is another gear to go into. It's a learning curve. Nobody has ever come into international cricket with a finished article. So I feel like there is that next gear.
But does this feel like a really good series, a great opportunity to sort of really cement yourself in the team? Looks like you're going to get a pretty good run at the top of the order. There's 8 games here in total, and we know there's some good players sat at home who will probably be going to come back in over the next couple of months. So is this, a real big opportunity for you to sort of put your hand up and say, I'm the main man?
Absolutely. I think you look through the side. I think there's a few people in that boat, probably more than half the team. I think there's a lot of people that want to put their best foot forward, and I feel like that's everybody's goal in a way. And I'm not going to get too carried away with thinking, I need this now. I feel like just relax, enjoy it. Do your processes, get away from the game as well. I feel like the rest will take care of itself.
And just a couple more questions about yourself. Tattoos. You've got a lot of tattoos, don't you? How many tattoos have you got? And is there one in particular that sort of stands out as a special one for you?
One that stands out, probably one of my granddad.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably one of my granddad stands out.
Any cricket related tattoos?
There's a horseshoe there for luck, but work.
Kiss that tomorrow before you go out and bat. You never know, you might score 100.
Yeah.
But you know what, if you do that, you score 100, every time you leave your front door, you'll have to kiss that tattoo because you'll be scared. If you don't kiss, something bad might happen.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why I don't really engage in superstitions.
Yeah, you're probably better to do that. And in terms just away from cricket, we're back in England, we're back in rainy Lancashire. You've got a couple of weeks off, a little bit of time off. What do you like to do to chill out and hang out?
There'll be plenty of stuff to do around the house. The missus will be on to me.
DIY stuff?
Yeah, there'll be bits and pieces.
You good at that?
No, not really. Just better than her. It's just an unfortunate position to be in. Yeah. If I could get the dog to do it, I would, believe me. But yeah, I think it would just be mainly walking the dog, getting in the gym. Lanx will want me in the gym, I'd imagine.
You're in pretty good shape, I've got to say.
Thank you.
You've been grafting hard at the moment?
Yeah, I have, yeah. Trying to add a bit of mass. That's the one.
Yeah. If you do that, kiss the tattoo, you're hitting sixes for fun,
There we go. Easy game.
Happy days. And just final question, if I can, just on the big game tomorrow. Obviously, a disappointing World Cup for England. I know you weren't there, but in terms of kind of a reset, a new start, that winning habit to get back into that winning series, how important is that?
It's massive. As you say, a habit. That's definitely what it is. You can't be too hard on yourself. Obviously Shea played really well first ODI and took it away from us. But if this group would have had 10, 11, 12 more games as a group, knowing how we operate together, feel like it's results like that you can, with experience, you can sort of flip around.
Great, thank you, and see you in Oystons tonight, is it?
Cheers, mate. Yeah, see you there.
You going?
Yeah, I think a few of the boys are going.
Yeah, we'll see. We should have done the interview in who's round them up?
Mark Saxby is rounding the boys up. So I think a couple are going to go down and have a look. If you've not been before, it's well worth the look.
You can't come to Barbados and not go to Oystons, can you, on a Friday night, right?
That's it. That's exactly what it is. You got to go. You got to see what's going on.
Yeah. You buy me a beer?
Pushing your luck now.
Thank you, mate.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.